Bethesda's QuakeCon panel shed a ton of light on the new character system in Fallout 76. Hey guys, JV here, and today we're discussing S.P.E.C.I.A.L and the character system in Fallout 76. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more Fallout 76 videos, and head on over to my Facebook page where we are streaming our Fallout 4 Survival Mode playthrough live today, right now, as you're watching this video for the next 4 hours, starting at 1 p.m. Central. So you should come by and check it out. Let's start by hearing Todd explain how a lot of the S.P.E.C.I.A.L and character system works.
So you get if you hit level 2, when you step out, you kind of complete the initial vault thing. And the first thing you do when you level up is pick a special that you want to increase. If you played previous Fallouts, we have all the 7 specials. And after you pick the one you want to increase, you then pick a perk in that special. So here we're choosing Gladiator, which is a melee perk. And then that is a card. As you can see, the perk system, the perks are cards. And then you equip those, and every special is a pool of points for the cards you want to equip, and each card has, I don't want to say mana cost, but a point cost for how powerful that card is, and do you have the right special for equipping it.
So every time you level up, 2 things will happen. First, you'll choose a special category to increase. Todd doesn't say this, but we can assume that each point in each category provides the passive bonuses associated with that category in the description. For example, choosing to place a point in strength when I hit level 2, just like in the example, will give me 5 more carry weight and increase my melee damage by 3%. That's just an example on those numbers. But once you spend that special point, you'll then choose a perk within that special category. So once you have that perk, it's yours to equip. In the example, Todd chose Gladiator. The perks and character system are much different this time around. Instead of just choosing perks and having them active at all times, you must equip the cards. You choose perks when you level up still, but you have to equip them. Only the cards that you have equipped are active and affect your character. Now, Todd didn't say this, but I can only assume that once you pick a card, that card is yours forever. Whether you equip it or not, it stays in your deck, so to speak. Another important detail, special points don't just give passive bonuses. They allow you to equip higher quality perk cards and more of them. Todd describes this as a mana pool at the end very briefly, but I believe it deserves more explanation. This is what he means. Looking at each perk card, we see a value in the top left. That's this perk's individual cost. That's how much it costs to equip this card. In this case, I need at least 1 strength to equip Gladiator on my character. If I don't have 1 strength for whatever reason, I just can't equip this card. This rule applies to every single special category and every perk card in the game. We get a better look at how this works in the next section. Let's listen to Todd explain card ranks and costs.
Okay, this is a level up to level 4. So we picked some more cards, but we wanted to show you how the cards themselves rank up.
Okay.
So you can pick that card again. So by picking Gladiator again, you can then combine that card with the other one to create a more powerful version, but it costs more points.
Right.
So sometimes you may decide, well, I only want the 1-point version equipped for my character build versus the more powerful 2-point version because I'm using my strength stats in some other way.
Each time we level up, we could theoretically choose a card that we've already chosen before, because every time you level up, you get to choose from all of the perk cards. We'll talk more about that in a second. All of the perk cards that you have unlocked. In the example from the video, if we already had Gladiator as a perk card, the next time we level up, we could theoretically choose Gladiator again. And if we choose it again, we could also choose to rank up the Gladiator card we already had to rank 2. And I assume that this consumes one of those cards. Not only is this Gladiator rank 2 card more powerful, it literally gives us 20% melee damage instead of just 10%, it also costs more special points to have equipped. Now we see the number 2 in the top left of this strength card. We must have at least 2 strength in order to equip this card now. And Todd points out that sometimes you don't always want to do this. It could be more beneficial to have, for example, 6 1-cost cards in your strength category instead of 3 2-cost cards equipped, if you're level 6 or whatever. It depends on what you're going for. Finally, here's Todd explaining this system in action with a level 42 character.
So here we are, and you'll see a character that's much further along, picking Charisma. We can talk about Charisma's interesting.
Yeah.
Here's a perk that lets mutations act better with groups. And so you can pick any perk that you meet the requirements for when you level up. There's no randomness there. And here's what it looks like with a character that's further along. We've upped the cap for each special to 15 from 10. That allows better balance for which cards you're equipping. And the cards right now go from 1 point up to 5 points in power. And then as you level up, more cards become available.
That clip wasn't very long for how much important information was shared. So at the very beginning, Todd says you can pick any perk that you meet the requirements for when you level up. There's no randomness there. So that means at level 2, there's going to be X amount of perks available. Level 3, another set of perks. Level 4, another set of perks. 5, on and on and on. Again, he says as you level up, more cards become available. And I assume the higher quality stuff is going to be locked at higher levels. We've actually got 2 really good examples of this in the footage. When we're looking at the level 4 character, we see slow metabolizer here, but you see it's locked. It's got a lock icon in the bottom right. It says level 5. So inherently, you need to be level 5 in order to equip slow metabolizer. You could have picked that card at a certain level, but you couldn't equip it yet, and it could be that this came from a perk card pack. Let's look at those right now. Here we see we picked Expert Heavy Gunner, another card with a lock on it, although there is no level requirement for some reason on this card. It could just be for demonstration purposes, or they didn't have it ready for their little gameplay demo here, but we picked this card out of a perk card pack, but it is locked. Jeff Goodman explains later on in the panel that indeed they do give you some perks that you can't even use yet, so you can kind of tailor your character and work towards that card. So you can say, maybe this unlocks at level 6 and I'm level 4. Over the next 2 levels, I'm gonna put a few points into strength so that I can be able to equip Expert Heavy Gunner once I'm level 6. I could be wrong, but that's just my theory, and it seems to make sense from what we've seen so far. Back to this level 42 character, we get to see what a fully fleshed out character's special and perk cards look like. Not fully fleshed out, but you get what I mean. As we can see, this follows the same basic rules as before. On the left, we can see that this character has 12 strength, which allows us to equip these 7 cards. Bandolier costs 3, batteries included cost 1, bare arms cost 2, all the way down. All of these costs add up to 12 strength. That's how we're able to equip them. So once again, you could theoretically equip 12 cards that cost 1 strength each, since we have 12 strength. Not saying you'd want to, but that's certainly possible. Here's a very important detail. Let's look at the Professional Drinker card. This card is only rank 1 because that's the only rank it has. It only gives you one thing and you can't upgrade it. However, it costs 3 endurance points to equip. This means that the perk card cost and the perk card rank don't always match. Most of the time, rank 1 cards cost 1 special point to equip, but that's not always the case, especially with this one. The only other card that we see this with in the footage is Party Girl, which is rank 1, but again costs 2 charisma points. This one's even more different because it has 2 ranks, so maybe rank 2 of Party Girl costs 4 charisma points, or maybe just 3. I assume higher costs per rank are going to be reserved to really good perks. Underneath Perception, Endurance, and Intelligence along the top of the screen, we have Unused Points, meaning that we could equip more cards under these categories if we have them. And as far as we know, those unused points are wasted if we don't have perk cards occupying those slots. Obviously, sometimes you won't have enough cards to put in there, or maybe theoretically you should, but just something to keep in mind. Before we move on, let's actually add up the special points along the top of the screen. 12 strength plus 5 perception plus 7 endurance plus 9 charisma plus 4 intelligence plus 3 agility plus 8 luck is 48 points, but this is only a level 42 character. Maybe this is just for demonstration purposes, but perhaps this character has found something like bobbleheads out in the world to increase their special 6 more points than they should. We're not sure on that. Todd also explains that the cap for each special is 15. It used to be 10 in previous games, and it could be pushed beyond if you had certain things, but the cap in Fallout 76 is 15. Once we level up each strength, perception, endurance, on and on to 15, that's the limit. No more special points beyond that point. 15 times 7 is 105. So since we get 1 special point per level, the effective special level cap is level 105, barring bobbleheads or other things that we just mentioned. The final super important detail from that last clip is about perk costs. Perk card costs go from 1 to 5, 5 being the most expensive and presumably the best card. So in theory, if I had special 15, that's the one that I put a lot of my points into, I could equip 3 cards that cost 5 points each. That would be like some really good cards, but that's kind of the limit of what I'd be able to do. Or again, I could equip 15 one-cost cards, so there's a ton of flexibility there. Since we covered so much in this video, let's recap on how everything works. When you level up, 2 things happen. You get to increase a special category and choose a perk card. Your total special points determine which perk cards you can equip. Each perk card has a special cost in order to equip it, costing anywhere from 1 to 5 points. Perk cards have level requirements and will expand as you level up. You can choose duplicates of cards that you already have and combine them to rank cards up, which also increases the special cost for that card. Some cards have higher costs per rank. Each special point maxes out at 15. Overall, this is a super flexible system. I'm really interested to see what it's going to be like to run 15 cards per slot at level 105. We're going to literally be running 105 perks, unless there's a limit and I'm misunderstanding. That's insane. Or we could go for the min-maxing method to max out what we have and put 3 rank or 5 cost cards per category to fill out our 105 points. I think what excites me the most is you can swap these in and out at any time. It's like equipping a piece of gear. And so if I want to change things up just for some specific activity, if I'm playing with friends, I can do that, and I love that. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. In the comment section below, tell me, do you like this character and special system and perk system in Fallout 76? Is this something that sounds good to you? Is it convoluted? Is it too complicated? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe for more Fallout 76 content, and be sure to check out my Facebook page where, again, we are streaming our Fallout 4 survival mode playthrough right now, starting at 1 p.m. Central for the next 4 hours. So you should come by and check it out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.